So this pathophysiology of hypoxia resulting to acidosis, under the pathophysiology of hypoxia resulting to acidosis, we need to know that the first element, so generally the major element in hypoxia, acidosis is going to is a condition that can directly kill, because acidosis can result to one, it can result to local vasodilation. Is it clear? So acidosis results to local vasodilation, and also acidosis can result to all those metabolic abnormalities. When you have metabolic abnormalities, acidosis is the main cause, mostly involved with enzyme metabolism. All those enzymes, the enzymes are not working in acid. Is it clear? So all those metabolic associated with enzymes are going to be in acidosis. So acidosis is a very good silent killer. Is it clear? So this is one of the things that you should be afraid of. And you need to know that what the most common presentation of this acidosis is going to be divided into two. You're going to have coma when you have it inside the brain. When you have the acid inside the brain, it's generally going to present with coma, acidotic coma. And also in the respiratory system, you're going to have Kussmaul breathing. Is it clear? Kussmaul breathing. Is it clear? In the GI tract, it's going to present with intestinal obstruction. Is it clear? So those are the different presentation of acidosis. Inside the brain, you're going to have coma, and you have also abnormalities in the respirations. Is it clear? And those abnormalities in respiration are going to be the Kussmaul breathing. Is it clear? And then the last one, if Kussmaul breathing did not succeed, when there is further acidosis, is going to result to Cheyne-Stokes breathing and even apneas. Is it clear? When there is excessive acidosis, is it clear? It can result to Cheyne-Stokes breathing and even apnea. And then the next one, you have intestinal obstruction. It can result also to intestinal obstruction, which is much more of a functional intestinal obstruction. Is it clear? So the child may not defecate, the child is just vomiting, and vomiting. The child is not defecating. It can also be another element of acidosis. Is it clear? So generally, acidosis is going to result to acidotic encephalopathy. We have acidotic encephalopathy, which is characterized by metabolic encephalopathy, that's acidotic encephalopathy, are characterized by coma. We have Kussmaul breathing, which is respiratory, is going to result to a respiratory acidosis compensation. Is it clear? So you're going to have the respiratory acidosis compensation. That's why generally the children that are asphyxiated, that have birth asphyxia, always have a respiratory rate which is very high. Is it clear? They based and also have a respiratory distress based on the Silverman-Anderson classification. And then they usually also vomit, these children, when they are feeding. And this vomit is a result of the acidosis. So that is the next mechanism of hypoxia resulting to acidosis and the complication of the acidosis. Is it clear? Those complications are metabolic encephalopathy from acidotic encephalopathy. The next complication is respiratory acidosis compensation, and the next complication is going to be intestinal obstruction. So those are the three major complications that you can have from acidosis. And other complications, we have local vasodilation and systemic vasodilation that can result to shock. Is it clear? Local and systemic vasodilation that can result to shock. So those are the different elements that you have to visualize as complication on the hypoxic acidotic element. Now the next complication is going to be the complication based on hyperoxia.